What is up, everybody? I hope this is working the way it's supposed to. I think it is. Anyway, I'm back on my bullshit today. We'll go ahead and get this one started. We do not have many left to go, which is sad, yet, um, I don't know. It's kinda bittersweet. You know, you come. I'll tell you what. We need to change the outfit real quick. Hang on. Corporate needs you to tell us the difference between these two pictures. It's the hair. I will try this one. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. It has been a little while since I recorded. Let's be perfectly honest with you. Okay. 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 Huh? Okay. So F3 is load. I'm just trying to remember. I'm gonna leave that shit in because it's pretty funny, but briefly here. Change the drip. It's been a while, everybody. I've had a lot of changes in my life lately, and wait a minute. These are not the items that were just equipped. Shit, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
A superb invention, Ying. But the power of this weapon is still unknown. Let us ask the 5 Tiger Generals to participate in a test.
It would be my pleasure. Behold, the power of the Juggernaut.
But I do hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing good. I've had a lot of changes in my life, man. You know it. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. If you're missing context, I encourage you to go back and watch the Zhang He video, which should be 5 or 6 episodes before this one. I think it worked out to be either 121 or 122. But last time I came before you, I recorded a few episodes in a row. I did Zhang He, Huang Gai, and then Pang Tong, which I'm gonna upload that one today. You talking about a frickin' that was a test of wheels. That was a test of wheels right there. And I don't know if this is the hardest difficulty or not. I felt kind of easy.
What? This can't be happening.
Shit, dude. I don't know. But when I spoke to everyone last, I just broken up with my girl, and I don't know. Maybe this is hardest difficulty. Now that I look at the damage and stuff, I'm like, man, Ying does quite a bit of damage, actually, deceptively. So, Maybe that's about right. Juggernaut just went through the freaking tower. I had just broken up with my girl, which was and still continues to be the hardest thing I've dealt with. You know, she was not very good to me. I talked about that. Once again, I'm not going to chew my food twice. This is not a oh, woe is me thing. I'm actually about to tell you how I have been doing better. But just, at the same time, I didn't just want to jump right into it. So, shortly after that video, I think I mentioned this part I will say just because I'm not sure. The guy that she talked to was a married man who was a peer of mine, and recently our supervisor retired, and that position became open. I did apply for it. I had a really strong interview, I thought, and I was so stoked with how it went, and I was tickled to hear back. Well, we did hear back. The guy that she was talking to, at minimum, was actually promoted to be my supervisor. And I was distraught, as I'm sure you can imagine. I cried. I tell you the truth, I cried about it quite a bit. I thought to myself, well, I'm going to have to quit. I'm going to have to do something else. And, you know, everybody, well, they talked me into staying, and I had to think. I had to really think on that. That's a position I hope that nobody who watches this is ever thrust into. Because let me tell you, you'll learn about some shit. You'll learn some shit about yourself when you're put in a position like that, okay? It's just, you have no choice. You have to... You have to decide very quickly what you're willing to deal with and what you just can't. Ultimately, and I've had a couple conversations with him, and I decided that for myself, you know, she may not, and I get into all this more here in a minute, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I understand, this could possibly be classified as trauma dumping, which is not my goal. I ain't trying to make Dynasty Warriors videos to bum people out, alright? But I've come this far. This has been a healthy tool for me to talk about myself, and I selfishly hope that in talking about this stuff that it helps me, and usually it does, but I also hope that for those who are out there facing some similar shit, hopefully not too similar, because this situation's kind of fucked, but for those that might be going through something similar, it might help them to know, hey, I'm not alone. You know, that was very helpful to me, because I talked to a great deal of people, because I was suffering. I was suffering. Every day I was just eating up. Eating up, son. You wouldn't believe. I felt guilty. I felt guilty. I was like, well, I shouldn't have left her. She's been through all this, and I shouldn't have left her, you know. And that was stupid. I was wrong for thinking that way, because as much as, of course, I do love her, the only person that's really going to take care of me is myself. So, you know, she has her issues, things that she has to work through. I love her very much. I asked her to be my wife. I don't regret doing that. Even with everything have going the way that it has, I don't regret doing that. But I guess with that being said, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm getting caught up in my feelings here. I'm trying to tell a story. So, obviously I was in a position where I either had to decide if I could work under this man or quit and go do something else. Both perfectly valid. A lot of people think I'm a dummy for staying. There have been times where I thought to myself I was a dummy, but I enjoy what I do, and I guess the idea of starting over really didn't appeal to me. I've come such a long way. I have such a strong rapport with so many in the company that I work for. I've climbed the ranks pretty high, and it's not. Life isn't about money, but you know, unfortunately, in order to live and live comfortably and all that, you have to make pretty good money, and I make pretty good money at what I do. So, shit, getting down to the wire here. But when I was deciding my future, money did have to be in consideration. So, I ultimately decided to stay. And ironically enough, with him being promoted, it opened up a spot for me to move to a bigger store and get a pretty significant pay raise. And I took it, and I have been at a new position for a little over 2 weeks now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's more work, not really more stress. Well, actually, it's really not even more work. It's different, and it's a new challenge. You know, generic bullshit like that, but it has allowed me, truthfully, whereas before I'd kind of settled into my routine. You know, I knew my market pretty well, and I was pretty well used to everything that needed to be done and the realities of working in that place. This new position, I have to learn a new market, learn what works there, work with new people, you know, and it gives me an opportunity to kind of throw myself into my work again and really show what I'm capable of. And so I have been enjoying that quite a bit. I like the guys and gals too, sorry. Guys and gals I work with at the new place. It's a much bigger crew. And with that comes new challenges, whatever. But, you know, really, I guess with that being said, a meat department is kind of a meat department regardless of where you work. And I have learned that now as I've gone on my journey and learned so much, a lot of it the hard way. Shit, I'm going to lose. Yeah, shit. Okay. So let me think about how I want to do this here. This one is kind of an interesting challenge. If I keep all the Juggernauts together and I stay with them, I shouldn't have a problem. Because what happened is I got away from him, and Ma Chao got a hold of him and really started messing him up.
I do not think such things would be very useful.
Pass judgment for yourself.
How is a frickin' tank that shoots fire not very useful? How is that ever not useful? I don't know. I'm going to do this one more time here. I saved again. Oh well. I should have just stayed with the group that was already there. That's kind of been me, though. A lot of days are a struggle for me. I'll be honest with you. I'm not where I was as far as confidence in myself. You know, professionally, I feel pretty good about myself. Unfortunately, the place where I work now is where I met my ex-fiance at. And, you know, every day I stand in the same spot, you know, where I came through those doors, and she was standing at the wrapping station and smiled at me. I stand in the same spot that she stood when I met her. So I think about her often, which, of course, I was thinking about her every day, regardless. Some people say, you know, and I know. Once again, I'm really not trying to make this a woe is me thing. I know there are people that deal with much harder shit than this on a regular basis. All right, I'm all right. I will be okay. All right, I don't. As much as I convince myself sometimes I won't, my cooler heads prevail. Okay, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not asking you to. I'm just shooting the shit. And once again, I'm talking, thinking out loud. Okay, that's all I'm doing here. But as somebody who struggles, and I have my days. Let me tell you, I really have some days where I do struggle, and I feel pretty lousy. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have the people that I do, to work in the place that I work. Everybody at my new store has been so gracious to me. Of course, I'll be honest with you. Damn, Ma Chao keeps getting me. Ma Chao has just been the bane of this entire fucking run. Has anybody killed me more than Ma Chao has? Liu Bei might be up there. I didn't really have that big a problem with Lu Bu. Guan Yu has been an issue most of the time. Xu Huang has been an issue most of the time. Lu Meng, for Wu, most of the time he's been an issue. I'm trying to think. Anyway. Unfortunately, I've done something which I don't recommend, and I know is not good for me in the long term, but I have started drinking again. When it comes time to go to bed, you know, and get up as early as I do, which is not natural for me. Alright, I'm not an early riser. The fact that I do so for my job, if it wasn't for my job, I wouldn't get up early. I'll put it that way. I think there's a lot of people in the same boat as me on that, but I have to get up pretty early for my job, but I guess with that being said, where getting up early is already not natural and I don't go to sleep very easily at night anyway, when I lay down at night, even as exhausted as I can get at times, have such a hard time going to sleep because my mind, unfortunately, damn, dude, this sucks. I had the blue pot right there. What type of shit is that? But as much as I struggle at night, just the exhaustion of working 10, 12 hours, whatever it is that I do, because a lot of times I ain't really trying to go home because then I have nothing to do and I just sit around and worry anyway. So I'm like, well, I might as well work. So I do. And I'm really tired by the time I get home. But it's like I lay down and my mind starts racing because I think about my job, I think about my ex, I think about my future, I think about being addicted to drinking, I think about the I think about everything that can and has gone wrong, okay? And it gets to be too much for me, and I just lay and I toss and turn. I hurt, and I think back to, well, what did I do when I was in a miserable situation? What helped me then? Well, it was drinking, and it allowed me to get loose. And unfortunately, I have resorted to doing that again. Of course, I am not stupid enough to think that that's a reasonable solution, because it isn't. I want to strongly say that. I'm not practicing what I preach, but as somebody who grew up with an alcoholic father, alcoholic grandfather, and a couple members of my close family that are alcoholics. Worse, you know. I think we all know and deal with people that have addiction issues, but I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not trying to hit you with some Mr. Rogers shit here. I'll just say this genuinely as somebody that wants the best for most people, you know. It's not something. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I've had so many people recommend to me different things. I guess this is where I want to throw this out there. Biggest consensus that I've gathered from different people I've talked to, just not even just about me, but over the years, and I have asked a lot of people that I care for, that I really trust and respect, is what would you do? How would you handle this situation? How did you handle this situation when you were in a similar spot? And most people tell me the same thing, which sucks to hear, but it's true. They said, well, nothing really will take the pain away. Nothing can fix the problem. You know, the only thing that you can really do is bide your time, give it time, genuinely, and allow yourself the opportunity to get over it in a natural way. And I have tried my best to do that. Genuinely, I have. I've allowed myself to feel terrible. I've allowed myself to question existence, everything, you know, hate to get dramatic on you, whatever. But I've allowed myself to go through all that. I went through the 7 stages of grief. I really did. I didn't know it at the time. But I went through the ringer over this whole deal. Okay? And you know, and some people said, well, go and have a lot of casual sex, dates. You know, just find a girl that you like and kind of casually date and have sex and kind of use that as a means to distract yourself. You know, kind of have a relationship, but without the actual relationship part, right? Because the trust is what has to heal back. That's what has to come back. Is the damage from the betrayal, from trusting somebody and loving somebody and having them treat you badly and cheat on you, and you know, that's the part that's the hardest. You know, I was alone for a long time. I said this shit in this series. I was 25 years old before I had my first relationship. I was 25 years old when I lost my virginity. Okay? I waited a long time for this shit. Alright? And being alone bothered me. But I was never like, oh, I'm going to kill myself if I don't get a girlfriend, or life is pointless without a girl. I focused on myself. I lost a bunch of weight. I got good at a job that I wasn't expecting to be my job. And I made the most out of what I could, I guess. I've tried to anyway. And pursued my own happiness, and I thought, well, it's back to the grind. You know, it's time to focus on myself. But I've not really been able to do that, to be honest with you, as much as I try. And maybe that's a part of the time thing, too. I don't know. There's a lot that I have been finding out about myself. You know, this is really the shit, I guess, that teaches you about yourself. And, you know, once again, what you can handle and what you can't, what you want and what you don't, what you can put up with and what you can't. What you're willing to accept for yourself. And I don't know how all this ends. I don't. And I guess nobody ever really does, but I know that for me, and as I always told her, when she would constantly accuse me of cheating and stuff like that, is I don't, even having really enjoyed sex, I don't want a bunch of casual sex. The enjoyment for me was always the passion, the intimacy that comes from. A lot of people say intimacy is sex. It's not really, because I had sex with her when I wasn't feeling it, and I didn't enjoy it as much. Sex is at its most enjoyable, and this is why I encourage everybody. Being a virgin is really not that big a deal, and it's not a problem. If you try and force it, I mean, you talk to most people, as I have. You learn people that lose their virginity, they force it, they try and just have sex with somebody they don't care all that much about, or sometimes not really at all. And it's not fun. I have a very good friend, and I won't say his name, but he was really self-conscious about being a virgin, and so he went in the farthest direction you could possibly go. He went to an orgy. And a group sex thing. And he had sex with a girl who was willing, who wanted him to, but he wasn't attracted to her. He didn't know her. He didn't really care for her. Didn't like her. And he couldn't enjoy the act. Alright? That is a lot of people's experience. For me, it wasn't that way. I lost it to somebody I really liked that I came to like a whole lot more. And whenever things were really good, whenever we were very much so in love, or I thought we were anyway, when I was really in love with her, the act was a ton of fun. But as somebody who also was on that other spectrum, when I had my fears, or when I had in my mind, when I knew she was messaging other guys and she was wanting to bone or whatever, I knew that my heart wasn't going to be in it. And that type of experience never left me feeling good. So I will say that.
It appears we can use this in battle immediately.
What was my point? So I don't think that's the route that I can go. I'm not going to pursue that. And I'm not really ready to have another relationship Pinocchio exactly. I don't think I am. So I guess time and focusing on myself. That was the last Shu officer. Alright, well that's the second faction done. Next time we shall do Jinji. She has a very fun mission that I really like. And then after that it'd be just, we have Cao Ren and Sunsei, Dakiao, Jacquiao, and Shotai. And that's it. So was it 1, 2, 6 more episodes? Dang. I mean, we've come a long way. This is what, episode 127, 128, some shit like that. So it's exciting. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I'll try to be a little bit more coherent in the next one. But take care of yourselves, everybody. I'm happy to be back. I will be okay. I just talk about all this shit to be talking about it, really. But I appreciate you. Bye-bye for now.